This isn't a story about heroes and villains. This isn't about good, evil, right, or wrong. This is a story about promises, responsibilities, the kind that echoes long after being forgotten, and the kind that shatters when kept too late. Phrolova, you could say she had everything: a home that's real, a village filled with warmth, lovely people, laughter, music, love. Sorrow was something that you could probably think that she did not have, but she wasn't born in sorrow. She became it. Her village did it fall in fire. It vanished in silence, in a single moment, in a whisper's moment. Everyone she loved, everything that made life make sense for either you or me or anyone else, it made sense. Erased. But fate didn't take her, it left her. Why me? She must have asked that question over and over. Sleepless nights, countless days. Why was she spared? She's not a survivor, she's a witness. A shell left behind with too much memory and nowhere to bury it. And so she chose music, not as a weapon, not as there was nothing to take revenge on, but as the only thing that could carry the weight of those burdens. Grief, sadness, uneasiness, loneliness. She played for herself, for the ones who will never come back, for a silence too big to swallow. She became a musician. She was a musician, then a conductor. She built a hall on the ruins of her village, as if the orchestra hall could be the proxy that could speak for the ghosts. Then centuries passed, probably. We don't know how long the wait was, but it was long. That's when she met him. This stranger who did not clap, yet everyone around him was clapping. He sat there in silence, closed eyes, and yet she noticed him because I do know for a fact that silence recognizes silence. Something about him felt familiar. Maybe it was fate, deja vu, or maybe just was a point in time, a point in our lives where we need to believe that someone saw us, that someone still saw her. So she made a promise. She offered so. Come back when I've finished this piece, when I've found every frequency, every soul, and woven them into one final elegy. And he promised that he would return, that he would sit in the seat that was saved for him. Front row, only for him. VIP. But he never came back. So much time passed. Maybe too much time. She waited. She hoped. She played. She probably kept making music in hopes. But one day, she could see that there might be hope until the music started to lose its meaning, until the stage began to feel more like a tomb. It imprisoned her until the silence grew. And in that ache, in her vulnerable moment, was an opportunity. The Fraxidus came. It was not to heal her. Their agenda was to use her. They saw her loneliness. They saw the gaping hole in her heart. And they filled it with a lie. You can bring them back. Just help us. Your sacrifice is enough. She said yes. Not because she turned evil, but because the world turned its back first. She searched for the perfect sound, the perfect frequency, the one that could pull the dead from the other side. But to do that, she needed power. And so she was told, use the Leviathan's gemstone. It will weave your symphony into the world. It was a lie. A lie that she probably knew. But she never understood what lie it was. Maybe the real weave wasn't a gem. Maybe it was her violin. The very violin the villagers gifted her before the tragedy. It had their love carved into its wood, their memories resting on each string. When she lost it, she was desperate to look for it. She didn't knew that this would consume her, probably filled with delusions of hope. Maybe she already understood. Maybe she already knew even until she was betrayed still. While the sword pierced her heart, while it pierced through her. As she mentioned, there's no such thing as true loyalty if there's no friendship, no camaraderie, companionship. So she was used. So while as this blade passed through her, she was thrown away, just like that, alone yet again, no one to see her. She fell into the sea beneath the Lumen Tower. And down there, in that eternal blue, she found it. The violin, the real one, the piece that she had been looking or searching for. Was never power. It was never revenge. It was just clinging on to remembrance. She picked it up. She played one final melody. Every voice of her village woven together in the song she always meant to finish. That was when she whispered, I'm sorry. Who was she saying it to? To her mother, maybe? The one she never got to apologize to before the concert? To her villagers? For making them wait so long? For failing to bring them home sooner? Or to Rover? The one person she invited to hear her soul speak. Yet he forgot. Some say she never broke her promise because the elegy wasn't done until that moment. And Rover did come back. Others say both of them failed. He forgot. She lost herself. Maybe both are true. Rover isn't innocent either. He's not a villain. But he did forget. He wiped himself over and over to escape the weight of his past, his choices, his failures. Maybe? We don't know. And in doing so, he left behind more than just memories. He left behind her. And when they met again, he had nothing to say. No reason, no apology, no explanation. Only silence. And Phrolova? She tried to reach him again. Just once more. Even as she was dying. Even as her body was flung like a petal across the water. She still reached for that one person she thought might understand. She didn't want the world. She didn't want the power. She wanted someone to listen, to remember, to not leave her alone in a world that forgot everything except how to move on. She wasn't cruel. Oh, maybe she was cruel, but she was desperate. Rover wasn't cruel either, but he was absent. They had both good intentions, but they were torn. Two people who remembered, but it was too late. In the end, Verlova's melody was finished, and Rover kept his promise, but it costed a lot. All that remained was bitterness, sulking, a violin beneath the sea, and a seat she saved for someone who almost never came back. I mean, he did come back, but still. Maybe she didn't want revenge. Maybe she just wanted to be seen one last time. And maybe that's what makes it unforgettable. She didn't forget the value of life. She remembered it too clearly. That's why she couldn't let go.